Okay, this tutorial is for creating and scheduling lecture releases. Um, this is as products and email and news posts for the release. Um, they were going out monthly, but there needs to be more created. They go out at 4 p.m. on Wednesday. And yeah, so to get started, we go to lifeenergyarts.com admin area /WP admin. And we log in. And like a lot of these tutorials, we're going to use a previous product to create our new product. So we go here to all products on the left, and we can take the most recent. They're ordered by most recent by default. So here's what a downloadable lecture would look like. So we can go in and edit. Actually, we can do one better than this. We can go ahead and actually duplicate the item by clicking this button here. Alright, and so let's start with the right hand side here. First of all, we're going to edit the publish on date, and we're going to change that to whenever we're scheduling it to go out for. As I said, Wednesdays at 4 p.m. monthly. But you can schedule the product for midnight of that day. It doesn't have to be scheduled for 4 p.m. like the email will be, but just schedule it for that day sometime before the email and the news post would be due to go out. And then you'll click OK once you've entered the correct date there. I'm just going to move this into the future to change the button there. Okay, on the side here you'll see that some categories have been checked. You're going to want to have it just in all downloads, and then under CDs by category, don't be put off that it says that. You're going to do all downloads, but then you're also going to choose one of these subcategories under CDs by category. So there are just 4 categories at the moment, and you should put it in the one that fits best. And that's all. Now, when this is actually released, on the day that it's released, you can go ahead and add a home page, and that will have it appear on these featured products down the bottom here. Now at the same time, you're going to want to go in to the product that's currently on the home page, edit the product, and then uncheck home page and update that product, so you're just exchanging them. Alright, then further down on this side you have the product image. You're going to switch that out by clicking on it, uploading a new file. I create these, I believe it's in Adobe Illustrator, so I have a template file for that can be provided, and we just switch out the name here. Fonts may have to be downloaded in order to do this, and that does mean they may have to be purchased again on whatever computer is going to be doing this work. So that's just a side note. Okay, so then for the main part, we'll get rid of this copy bit here. We'll put in our new title at the top here. We can edit this permalink, and we can, well, let's just I'm just going to write new here to give it something new to work from. You can always just delete the permalink and then hit OK, and it will create a new URL from using the title. Alright, you're going to replace the title also here, and you're going to put in this information here will be provided by Peter. You're going to put in the length of the download and the date that this audio was recorded, and then you're going to put in the description of the product here, which may have some links or things of that nature, like this one does, or it may just be text. Then we also have here an excerpt, or sometimes there'll be multiple excerpts. You can delete the one that's currently here, and click Add Media, upload an audio file here, insert into product, and it will pop up in here in this format with this kind of symbols and so forth around it. If you have multiple, you can obviously just do excerpts, and then you would want to label them in some kind of way, 1, 2, 3, 4, or however you want to do that. You can copy a page with multiple excerpts to get an idea. So you just add new ones into blank lines below. Then what you're going to do is choose a price, enter the price for it rather, and the way that works is that for every 10 minutes it's $2. So for instance, rounding up on the number of minutes here, it's 110 minutes divided by 5 is 22. So we end up with $21.95 as the price. And so you can put that in there after you've calculated it. And then you're going to add your download links. So you'll give them a name, you'll add and remove to get the appropriate number of spots to enter one. And then we actually keep the files in a released lectures folder on the Dropbox under the archive, under lectures, under released lectures, and then ordered by their SKU, their product number for the most part. Some old ones here are in these folders. The newer ones are in their own folders out in the main folder. Or, if they are newer recordings, the product numbers may well be a specific kind of date related number, like these ones at the bottom. So anyway, you would go ahead and take whatever one it is. You'd go in and you would take the appropriate WAV files. Let me find a more complicated one here. Maybe this one. Okay. These actually bring up a point that Peter knows how to boost the audio prior to release, which is something we're doing at the moment. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind. So here you can see we have part 1 and part 2 boosted. Now sometimes you can see there may be multiple WAV files, and sometimes you may need to ask for clarification. So here's where, and the extract that you would be putting in the product, like I mentioned before, would also be found in the appropriate folder under the release lectures, as you can see here. And so in this case I had to ask Peter for clarification. Basically we have a WAV 700A, B, 701A, B, but then we also had a 700 part 1 and a 700 part 2. and it turned out that what these were was 700 A and B combined into one file, part 1, and 701 A and B combined into one file, part 2. So those were the ones I ended up using the boosted versions of. So what you would do is you would go in to this ... here, and you would do share with Dropbox. And then by default, it will not say this. It will say perhaps Diamond Network and Viewer or something of that nature. So you need to hit settings over here first of all, and it would prompt you to create a link. So you would click create link, and then you would need to change this who has access, anyone with link. That's the important part. And you save it, and then at that point you can copy the link and paste it into your product right here. And then the one thing you want to do is at the end it says DL equals 0. You want to just delete that 0 and add a 1. That means that it will prompt people's computers to download the file as opposed to opening it sometimes in browsers, which can cause issues for some customers and so forth. So you would repeat this process for all the different parts that you needed to do. This is fine here. There's downloadable products are not text, but this is duplicated over from a previous downloadable product, so all those settings are already correct. You would want to take the part of the summary here and pop that in to the meta description down here, paste it in, and adjust it until it is an appropriate length as indicated by the green. It will turn orange if it's too short or too long. And then you can deal with other tabs that are up here, or you can deal with these other tabs first and then do the meta description. Either way, just I'd recommend standardizing the order you do things. That makes it easier not to miss steps. Okay, so the next tab is inventory, and that's where you are going to give it its product number, its SKU. And so that will be apparent by the file name. The file that you have been provided with will have this number associated, and if it doesn't, it will have a date associated with it, or a date plus a number suffix. So you can use this as the SKU, or if you have this one, for instance, you could use this as the SKU. So, and it'll have ECD at the start. Downloadable lecture, as opposed to CD for CD versions of these lectures, which we are no longer doing, but our earlier ones have those. And often it will just be the one that you're using most commonly will just be 3 digits. Or if it's an older lecture. Okay, so that's that. Advanced menu order. So basically we keep going down in numbers. So this would be 7, and that's just going to mean that it's put towards the top on the page before the previously released items. So we're going to have our most recent lectures show first on the product pages. As you see, we're going to run out of space to keep reducing these numbers soon, so we'll have to shift them all down. We can shift them down by a great deal to provide a lot of extra space. And then that is it. So you would, at that point, go ahead and hit schedule, and then it'll give you a preview version, a button to preview it up here, and you would go ahead and do that. This isn't the preview button, but I'm gonna go ahead and, oh, no, that works. Okay, so that's how you create the product itself, and then you're going to use this page that you've just created. You'll want to test the excerpt and so forth, make sure everything is correct. And then you're going to use this to create the email and the news post about it, which, are going to be basically the same. So you're going to make the email first, because that's going to get approved probably by Peter. So you're going to go into your campaigns, and once again we're going to use the most recent version, most recent example of this kind of email that's been sent out as a template. I don't know why these little preview images are broken today, but usually you'll be able to see, and that will help identify, because the previews you're looking for will have this kind of image visible in the preview. But as it is, we can just go back and we're looking for new lecture. Here we are. So we can click copy here, just bump it up by one number, and put in the new title here. That's just a internal name for the campaign. Then you're going to edit this top section first of all. You're going to go ahead and put in the new title here, and you're going to put a little mini description in the pre-header so that it fits on this line up here well and doesn't start causing the subject to become truncated. So you can take the description and basically just take a little phrase from it or rework it a little bit, and then when you've done that you can hit save. Okay, and then what you're going to do is plug in the new title here and the new, much like you did for the product, you're just going to do the same thing. You're going to put in the new title here, new length here, new price here, new description. You're going to go ahead and replace this image, click upload file, and upload your new cover that you've created, and then you're going to insert that. And then you're going to adjust all the links. So this text here is actually a link, new audio download release, so you're going to go edit that, and you're going to paste in, you're going to take the permalink, and you'll see it's actually, right now it's actually linking through to a preview version with the URL that we don't want to use. So we're not going to right click and copy link, we're going to actually click and drag and copy the text. So we actually get the permanent URL there. And it's not a big deal, but for tracking purposes it's nice to keep all of this question mark, UTM source, etc. after the URL, because that helps with analytics. So you can click here before the end of the URL, just before the question mark, hold shift and press up, and that will select everything before there, and then you can do Command V or Control V and paste in the new URL, and then you can hit insert. And then so you're going to do that for that. You're going to do that for the title here is also a link, so you're going to edit, do the same thing there. The photo is also linked, you're going to edit, do the same thing there. Available here is also a link, edit, do the same thing there, and full download here, that's also a link. So you're going to adjust that one too. And then the last thing you're going to adjust is the excerpt here. You're going to want to link to the new excerpt as opposed to the old one. So you're going to edit this one, and what you're going to do is basically go and take the URL of the excerpt that you uploaded and inserted into the product. So you can copy that and paste it here, and then hit insert, and that'll do the new URL. I should say, and should have said in the previous tutorials about emails, tutorial about blog type emails going out, that it's always good to go in and hit preview and make sure that every link is working appropriately and all the text and images are correct. And then you're going to go ahead and continue, and you are going to choose all of the email recipients with the exception of this one here, because they just want to receive gallery related emails and also local galleries and press. And then you're going to go ahead and schedule for the appropriate Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can choose to be sent early results about the stats of how many people open and so forth if you want here. And then you're going to hit schedule. And then you are going to you're going to hit schedule, the email is going to be here. You can click on the image here to get your preview version to pop up. And you're going to go to drjohndiamond.com/WP-admin and create the relevant news post. So you can click here on posts. Under all categories, you can choose news and events and click filter. And then you can go ahead and scroll down to the most recent new audio download released post. Click edit. Okay, and then this one I actually do in visual. I usually do these in text, but I like to be able to get the visual of the size of the image and so forth, and the location of it. Okay, so what you're going to do is select all of this. You're going to copy. You can do, for ease of copying, you can open another WP admin, a different window. I'm going to do posts, add new. Okay, so actually you can copy in this if you want, and then put in your new title instead there. You can copy in body of the post here, and you're going to replace the old description with the new description. You're going to this I need to kind of right click on and then click away from to get it to open this thing for some reason. You're going to click edit and click replace here to put in your new cover image for the product. When you do that, it's going to give you options in terms of size. I believe you want custom. I don't know if you can select that initially or if you have to select like small, large, medium, and then go back in after the fact. But you want 200 by 200, I believe, pixels. And yeah, you're also going to want to change the link. So you're going to insert it. You can click on insert edit link up here when you have it selected and adjust this to link to the new product link. Take the permalink, paste it in there, hit apply, and do the same thing on the available here. Edit, paste the new one in, hit apply. You're going to want to take part of the description here and copy it and go down and paste it as the excerpt, and then you're going to want to check that the excerpt is the right length for the meta description for search engines. If it is not, in this case it is because it's green, that's the right length here. If it's not, you're going to delete that, you're going to paste it in manually, and you're going to add and remove text as necessary to get it to be in the green rather than too short in the orange or too long in the orange. Okay, then, this is a preview of how it will look here, by the way. Then, on the right-hand side, you're going to go ahead and again choose to publish this on the Wednesday, the appropriate Wednesday. You can do it at midnight of that day, 4 p.m. of that day, it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that the product is released before the news post and the email, and we are doing the email at 4 p.m. these days. So anyhow, then you'll put that in here, you'll hit OK. It'll then change to schedule here. You're going to click news and events here under categories. That's going to put in the news and events section rather than the blog up here. And that's it. You're going to hit schedule, and then you're going to be given a preview link if you want to click that and make sure it all looks okay. And then you're going to find that on the day you're going to have the product is going to be published. You can go ahead and do the thing I mentioned before, where how you put on the front page of the Life Energy Arts website. You are going to have the email go out for it, and you're also going to have the news post appear, and the news post will appear in the news and events section over here. And then let's see. Okay, there's one more thing here. Yes, okay, so the other thing you're going to want to do once it has been released, you're going to want to go to Works of John Diamond Seminars here, and you're going to pick the category that you uploaded it, that you gave it. So let's say it was this one. Okay, and so you're gonna edit this page to manually add it to the top of this list, and you're gonna do the same on the Life Energy Arts website on the all audio page, which unfortunately is a manual page. This contains all the categories, so you're just going to edit this page. So you're going to go ahead, here we can edit item. I do this as text. So we're going to take the first list item here, like so, copy it. We're going to hit enter before it to give us a new line. And we're going to paste in the previous one that I just copied to use as a template. What we're going to do is we're going to paste in the permalink for the new item here, and we're going to write in the title and the subtitle here, and then we're going to hit update and view the page, and make sure that the new product is appearing at the top here and is linked correctly. And then for the audio lectures page, it's the same thing, except we need to find the right subheader here. It takes a little bit of looking. Here we have, see, here's this one. I forget which category we're doing it under, but let's say it was this one. So again, we're going to take first list item, we're going to copy, we're going to give a new line, we're going to paste, and we're going to replace this permalink with the new one, and replace the title and subtitle here. Click update, and then we're going to go ahead and preview the page, or rather view it after the update, and see that it appeared at the top of the appropriate list and is linked through correctly. Okay, so a bunch of steps here for the audio lecture release process. when it's released, like with everything else, we also post it on social media. But social media posts are being covered in a different tutorial.